rate, so a loan of $6,000 over 5 years at 15% per annum interest charged monthly is paid back in 5 annual instalments. Now girls, basically interest is charged for a whole year and then the first repayment is made. And then interest is charged for the next complete year, but monthly, and then the second instalment's made. So girls, there's only 5 annual instalments, but the problem is that the interest is charged monthly. So we've got, what's going to happen is that you've got your principal of $6,000. Okay girls, so what happens is we've got the first year and the second year, etc., all the way up to 5 years. Okay, so 3, 4, 5 years. But the problem is, in this first year, interest is added on at the end of each month. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then that first repayment is made here.
Why does it even say that?
Well, it says a loan of $6,000 over 5 years at 15% per annum interest charged monthly. So the interest is charged monthly, but the loan is paid off in 5 annual instalments, not in 60 monthly instalments. It says it's paid back in 5 annual instalments. So what happens is the interest gets compounded here for 12 months, and then you make your first repayment here. It says paid back in 5 annual instalments, only 5 repayments for the whole thing. But what happens here is this is A equals P, 1 plus R to the power of 12. You have to do, see what happens here is that this original amount of $6,000 grows in that first year. So the interest rate is 15% per annum, but interest is charged monthly, so it's 15 over 12% per month. Now, what's 15 over 12 divided by 100? Well, 15 over 12 is 1 3/12, which is 1 1/4. That's 1.25% per month. But girls, we're going to have to work out 1 plus R over 100. And that will be 1 plus 1.25 over 100, which is 1.0125. That's what we're going to put in as 1 plus R over 100. Wait. Before I make my first payment, interest has to be compounded for 12 months. So A equals P, 1 plus R to the N. For the first year, equals 12 months. So, over the first year, 6,000, 1 plus R over 100 is 1.0125 to the power of 12. That is what your money, you get charged interest for the first year, and the amount that you will owe at the end of the first year will be this, but then what do I have to do? Amount owing at the end of the first period is that minus my first repayment. Okay? So girls, you've got to be really careful with that. The interest is compounded for a whole year and then the first repayment is made. So now in the second year, my money is worth that. So then interest gets added on again for 12 months and then I make my second repayment here. Because it says only 5 annual repayments. So A2, amount owing, remember A1 means amount owing at end of first month. A2 is amount owing at the end of the second month. Take my principal and multiply that by, that's my new principal, times 1.0125 to the power of 12 again, minus M.
So is it always...
No, because I'm just doing it for the next 12. Well, normally when we do this, we just put a 1 here and then we multiply. You do it 1 month at a time. So this is what I owe at the end of the first year. I now need to work out the interest for the second year only. So I have what I owe at the end of the first year. I multiply it by the 1 plus R over 100 for another year. Now another year is another 12 months. and then so this 1.0125 to the power of 12 gets multiplied by my principal, and then I take away my second repayment. So when I expand this, I get 6,000, 1.0125 to the power of what? What happens here? 24 minus 1.0125 to the power of 12 times m, that times that, minus m. Do you get the idea? What do you think A5 is going to be? Remember, you're only making 5 payments.
So would it be 12 times?
I can do A3 next. I can factorise out my m. Do we know? We know what's going to happen now, don't we? Do you want me to do A3? I can do A3. I can just write down what A3 is. Or I can just write down what A5 is. A5, it's going to start, but just be careful because, can I just write this in bracket form then? That's 6,000, 1.0125 to the 24 minus m bracket 1.0125 to the power of 12 plus 1. Remember how we do that before we...
Yeah.
So now A5 is my last one because there's only 5 of them. What do you think I'm going to get for A5 here? 6,000, 1.0125 to the power of what? Good. Minus m times.
I don't know how to do this.
Well, it would be the next power down from 60. 48. See how this is 24, which is equivalent to 2. This is 1 year, and that's no year. Like, that's just the number 1. Can I write A3 before I do A5? Let me do A3. What would I get for A3? 6,000, 1.0125 to the what? Minus m. What would I do? 1.0125 to the... That's the equivalent of 2. That's 1, and that's 0 power. So this is equivalent of 3. Then power of 2 is 24 in this case. Plus to the 12 plus 1. Do you remember how it goes? No. I've got a few people stuck. I'll go the long way. I'm not going to use that last row of A2 because a lot of you won't want to use it. A3 is this one here. Do you remember? Times another 1.0125 to the 12 minus m. So A3 would be 6,000, 1.0125 to the power of 24. I'm going to go the line above. I'm not even going to use that bottom line because a lot of people aren't comfortable yet doing that. Minus 1.0125 to the 12 times m minus m. That's times 1.0125 to the 12 minus m. Do you remember how we do that? Now, if I multiply that, so I haven't taken it from the last line, I've taken it from the second last line. Isn't that 6,000? What do I get?
1.0125.
To the power of 36 minus, that times that one, 1.0125 to the 24m, that times that, 0.0125 to the 12m. So I've done that times that, times that, times that, minus m. Now I'll take out a common factor for all the m's. Minus m, now what do I do? 1.0125 to the 24 plus 1.0125 to the 12 plus 1. Do you see the pattern now?
Yeah.
That's 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, no years. So therefore, A5 will be 6,000, 1.0125 to the 60 minus m. What do I do? This normally would be 3, 2, 1, 48. You can put them all in if you want. Plus 1.0125, because it's only 4 terms, girls, 5 years. Plus 1.0125 to the 1 plus 1.
12 to 12.
You know what I mean. Right. But A5 equals 0 as the loan is paid off. So girls, you don't have to do a sum of series for this. You can just add them up if you want, or you can do sum of a series. There's only 5 numbers to add up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So A5 is that, but A5 equals 0 as the loan is paid off. So therefore, I don't really want to write 0 equals that. Can I go just equals 0 there? And now, how do you work out m? make M the subject, you take it all over to this side. So won't it be 6,000, 1.0125 to the 60 divided by that? Girls, it's just taking that to the other side, and
What happens to, oh, okay.
and then you divide by this.
Yeah, okay.
And then we get 1 plus 1.0125 to the 12 plus 1.0125 to the 24 plus 1.0125 to the 36 plus 1.0125 to the 48. So, and you work that out, I'd probably just add them instead of doing sum of a series. By the time you do that sum of a series and play around with it for 5 terms, it'll be longer than adding them up.
Yeah.
So just add them up. And let's hope we get the answer. Makes sense, everyone. It's a $6,000 loan.